show! From Michael Bay to Marvel, UK and everyone all in between. Breaking news and toy reviews, every robot turns wet dream. Grab a brew and join the crew, become part of our scene. Bring your own, let's drink our own, make sure you're at least 18. Welcome to the show, the party and let's roll. Friday nights, let's go, Transformers the show.
Welcome to Transformers the Show Socials. This is where we're just going to focus on some social members, some fans, and we're going to talk about TFNation, past, present, and future.
Transformers the show!
And we are joined by the esteemed Robert Kopp and Bordersdude and Andy Gold. Now, Robert Kopp is a man of mystery. He's got numerous different social media accounts under numerous different names. He can speak dozen different dialects in the UK. You could never find him if you tried. He's got friends from Inverness, Aberdeen to Cornwall. Well, maybe not friends, acquaintances, wouldn't you say? Or, people you could, know the street.
Yeah.
Then we've got the wonderful Bordersdude, who loves romantic walks to toy stores all alone. It's the best way to do it, Bordersdude. And then we've got Andy, who found himself turning into Chris McFeely, so had to take drastic action by joining a gym, haven't you, Chris?
No, I'm not going to do an Irish accent. Yeah, recently joined a gym.
You were thinking about doing, you could be the German Chris McFeely of a fake German accent.
Nope, stop myself again. Not doing it.
Transformers the basics, and you can scream at people. This is the way it should be. Anyway, thank you for joining us tonight. And hopefully we'll have more events kind of like this. Just sharing some comments there. Wonderful to see some people in the chat. That's excellent. Now, Robert Kopp, why Transformers?
For me, probably like most of us, it goes back to my childhood. I can remember some of my first toys when I wasn't a baby being Transformers, G1, like Metroplex, Ultra Magnus, Hot Rod. They're all kind of well battered and broken, but a lot of the time was also had the movie on VHS and some of the G1 episodes I think you got on the Avon cassettes on VHS, and the movie was watched a lot. And then there was the whole kind of puzzle element, and I think that kind of ingrained it for me. More so than kind of things like He-Man or Thundercats, and also the fact that Transformers are just kind of endured. So I kind of a mix of all those three things for me has kind of made it stick.
Awesome. Bordersdude, why Transformers?
Why Transformers? Well, very much the same as Robert Kopp. I've been there since my childhood, like probably all of us here. I'm a G1er, born in the 80s. And they never went away.
Perfect.
Nah, well, I could have been the 70s.
I'm a 70s child. You can tell by my good looks.
Yeah. But
Got a face that's been through a windscreen and dragged back. Go.
Yeah, they never went away in the UK. We were very lucky in that sense. In the US, once they had their run, that was it. But the UK was always continual in Woolworths, Toys R Us, you name it. So it didn't matter, what decade, whether it was 90s, early 2000s, they were still here. And you've got that nostalgia appeal, haven't you?
And Wish McFeely, why Transformers?
Very much hitting on the same beats as everyone else so far. It is a case of being one of the big franchises when I was a child. Very much love just transforming them over and over again, trying to recreate what you see on TV. I literally had one VHS as a kid. That was it. And it was Cosmic Rust and Masquerade. And I watched the hell out of that over and over and over. One thing I also like, I don't know if Graham mentioned it, was about the tactileness of it. The fact you have it in your hands, like being able to actually do the transformation yourself. And like I said, following what's on TV. I left the fandom for a bit when, like a lot of people, you grow out of it. And I came back to it thanks to Fuse videos about 4 or 5 years ago, just because seeing all the toys that I used to have. And yeah, it's taken me straight back. I'm just absolutely surrounded by them.
Sounds like an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. This, I was out of it. I was dragged back. I was
dragged back in. It got its claws on me.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all great, but let's look at some pictures of John's collection here. Bordersdude. Bordersdude, explain. I command.
This cube that you have here is pretty much the miscellaneous part of the collection. You know, you've got your Ghostbusters, your Turtles there, a couple of Visionaries, the Leorix, the San Diego Comic-Con version that came out in that 6 or 7 pack.
I'm going to come back to you. This is the last time I say this, Bordersdude. It's Visionaries, not Aries. Naries. That's it. I'm okay now.
And yeah, you can see the Ghostbusters there, and that is Ectotron, as well as Biker Mice from Mars and Micro Machines form.
Ultra Magnus. I noticed the theme.
Yes, my favourite Transformer, and his Generation 1 design.
Quick question. Who played them in Transformers the movie? What was the name of the actor?
Robert Stack.
Oh, well done. Well done.
You thought I was going to say Jack Angel, didn't you? Yeah. As you know, Ultra Magnus is my favourite Transformer. In particular, his Generation 1 animation form rather than the White Prime, but each to their own. I won't hold it against you too much. We've got a bit of energy on there and a bit of Make Toys third party. Very cool. Oh, where else would you put Titans but on the top shelf? Just like that. Naughty place at the garage. The top shelf section.
Not the way I designed my room, John. I have all my Titans in the bottom shelf.
Oh, no.
Because of gravity. The bigger, heavier things tend to fall, so...
Yeah, but I mean, they're pretty sturdy. I mean, look at that Bruticus on the edge there, quite literally.
I hear people say it's pretty sturdy, then you see a post a couple of weeks later, it fell and it's broke, you know, and they're crying. And I sit back and laugh at them, John. I laugh at them because they didn't plan it out.
And that's just because they don't know how to stack their bots.
I don't really laugh at them. I'm too much of a compulsive coward to do that. I go, that's a shame. I'm really sorry for you. But it's a good looking collection there, John.
Yeah.
A fire hazard, but yeah.
Yeah. Not at all there. That's all mostly the modern generation stuff there, with a few Doctor Who and third party stuff thrown in. But that's, I guess, the star shelf or the star display, hence the starlights. That's where all the good bots lie.
Are you not worried these things are going to start to melt, like your Transformers next to these lights?
No, it's LEDs, it's not bulbs. Oh, I'm not a maniac, Jamie. Come on.
Or just colour? Are you not worried about that?
Oh, it's Hasbro and white plastic, forget about it. And look at that at night time. They'll light up just so sexy.
Is this your seduction room? This is where you take the wife to?
I can't comment on any of that. You know,
or the postman. You know, if you want to be in good favour with the postman, make sure your deliveries come on time. I'm not saying you have to seduce them. I'm just saying showing this off, because sometimes these delivery people, they must wonder, how come you getting so many parcels? Did you ever get that question, guys? Why so many parcels? Oh, have I got a problem? No.
I think that's mostly your problem, Jamie.
All right, a good problem.
And there's the bad ones in the corner. And of course, the James Bond Jr. collection mixed with Power Rangers for good measure. But as you can see, it's a bit messy because I've run out of space. So where am I going to put my mask stuff? Oh dear. Oh, Steven Seagal figure there. See, I'm just taking these pictures and seeing the stuff again. It feels like for the first time. Wow.
Quite cool, though, John.
Thank you.
Adult collection there,
I've
DVDs.
spotted
We'll
Rotor
move
Storm
through
in
that
there.
quickly. Oh, we'll stop there. We don't want to look at that stuff just now. Look at that a bit later. What about Cop? Do you have some pictures to share of your collection?
Yeah, just 2 or 3. Give me a moment. Make sure I get this right.
So what we're doing is we're basically just showing these people's collections off here. I say these people, you know, obviously wonderful individuals, you know, just to validate them, you know, and also between you and me, not them, but between you and me, I'm checking for any GoBot figures that might be there, just in case we need to remove them.
Oh
That's
dear. I'll be going now.
Okay. I'm trying to share my screen. I'm not sure if that's
Yep,
come up.
I
That one?
do
Yeah,
that
okay.
part. It comes
Great.
up, and I have to click
Oh,
to share.
great.
Sorry.
Great. So for me, I've got a few pictures of just a handful of my shelves, and my collection's a bit of a hodgepodge of a lot of stuff a lot of chug stuff from last our studio series from the last 5 or 6 years. You got all the 86 Dinobots in there. There's a mix of Armada. There's some G1. There's some T30 things in there, and you've even got a Bludgeon, which I think is from a remold of a Revenge of the Fallen Megatron. I might have that wrong, but it's a Bayverse-esque figure as well. And then you've got a lovely little Turbo Master at the front there, but quite a mix, and also a masterpiece over on the right there. And actually hidden behind Optimus Prime is Long Rack, so just adding some Japanese Beast Wars in there. So it's a right melting pot of all sorts. That's what I've
It's
got
good
there.
to see diversity in people's collections. Well done there, Robert Cobb.
Very
You're ticking
diverse.
those boxes. Brilliant.
Here's another one just to continue the point. So you've got kind of big third party Unicron in there, which I think is the best looking Unicron in terms of the masterpiece. But obviously,
Sure,
scale
if
with
you've got a
anything.
low life expectancy and you're not expected to be around for long, but I think for people who are of a certain age, HasLab is better than you think, Robert Cobb. Especially when you're next to it, it's got a presence that just draws you in. But that does look lovely.
Yeah. No, I've got the HasLab as well. This one doesn't have the kibble, but the HasLab, as you say, does have the presence. And snuck in the back there, you've got a HasLab Deathsaurus, you've got Magmatron, you've got 2 different versions of Ultra Magnus, some more kind of modern things, and then TFN last year I got, I think that the official toy name is Stealth Assault because it was a Euro release that comes with Smokescreen as well, and that was a surprisingly good figure. And if you're keen-eyed, you'll see in the bottom right-hand corner there's also a little Diaclone vehicle as well. I've got a few bits of Diaclone sprinkled around.
It's always good looking at people's collections, but I do start to get a bit jealous. I start thinking, oh, I wish I had that figure.
And this is the last one I've got. So again, just continuing the theme of a little bit of everything. You've got a third party, you've got a studio series combiner, Beast Wars from Japan there, you've got a missing link, you got Transformers 1 at the front there, you got the other part, you got Smokescreen from the other figure. It was
Sorry,
just on there.
sorry, Graham, I'm going to have to stop you. Robert Copp, sorry, Robert Copp. I'm going through all the different names of all your different aliases here, but I think Mr. McFeely was going to make a comment about your collection there because he was shaking his head. He was going like that and that.
What?
You know, he was.
Oh, sorry. No, I have no issue with his comments. If I was shaking my head, that's completely by accident. I'm really sorry.
I thought you were going, I can't stand looking at this anymore. This is awful.
This is shite. No beachcombers anywhere. Disgraceful.
Put on the fake face. Put on the fake face. Yes. This is... no, go on there, Robert. Borders, you can always jump in as well. You can ask about your collections and stuff. Go. Sorry, Robert Copp.
I'm just enjoying the show. Sorry.
Well, and just to kind of finish up, I think there's original Beast Wars Scavenger. I think it is just in the back there with a strange face. I got that a really good deal. Well, I thought I was quite happy with it from Toyfu last year at TFN. And yeah, just all sorts. If it's a good figure, it's a good figure. Doesn't matter what line it's from. I'm not. I do tend more towards G1, but I'm not too preachy about it.
So
I just noticed did we notice the Sharkticon Pit of Judgment figure there? Ranix,
Yes.
is it?
oh yes, yeah.
Ranix,
I love
yep.
that. I
They're not all in the
spotted that
same
all by
shelf.
myself. All over the place. Is that just because you're quite disorganized, or is it because you just like the aspect of, just like putting them out there?
Well, the way they're in just now is just me trying to squeeze as much into the space as I've got. So I'm just picking a figure. I try and put the big ones at the back, and then see what I can squeeze in around, and that's kind
So
of where
it's-
things end up.
Basically, sardines. Then that's the way you're going with it just now.
They are at the moment. I do expect to be moving at some, well, probably in the future anyway. And I'm
I
hoping
think that's
if we're
made Andy
lucky,
feel much happier.
Yeah.
That
I'll
explains
hopefully
it.
have more space in the future.
Oh, you definitely will. Hopefully,
Yeah.
eventually do move and it all works out for you.
Yeah.
Andy, Mr. McFeely, anything to share?
Right, here we go. So let's see if I get this right. That, and then that.
I'm going to shake my head furiously through this whole thing.
You
Cool.
do that, Robert Cop. You do that. And take lists and go, and ask him a question. When he gives an answer, just go, interesting.
Yeah. Right. And of course, it now doesn't want to work what we practiced. Absolutely perfect timing.
So basically, you go to the little computer screen with the little cross on it. You
Yep.
click on that, and then you go to share screen. And then you go to the window. That'll be the middle tab.
The window one,
Chrome
yeah,
tab
the picture's not. There we go. Now it's popped up again. Magic.
Yeah,
It wasn't there before, but happy days. Here we go. On with the show.
yeah.
So, please ignore the bottom right square. You can just call that the graveyard right now of bots. I have nowhere for them to live because I'm currently trying to cull the collection a little bit. So top left is kind of where we got like a bit of the Power Masters, Headmasters, and such.
What's your
Eight
favourite
Pace.
one in that section, Andy? Yeah, I was going to say 8 Pace.
Yeah,
Yes,
we always
indeed.
see beauty, don't we, Robert Cop? We spot beauty straight away.
There will be some more moving around, so I don't end up with Grimlock and I think is that Sludge in the background, just hidden away. Again, this movement of the collection has been an ongoing battle, unfortunately.
You need to tell me what stand you're using for SWIP, and I'll get that information off you later because I need
No
a stand for SWIP.
No problem at all. He's the figure I bought that immediately when I saw him was like, I need to get a flight stand for him, just for that.
And you kept it to yourself. Interesting.
Well played. The top middle, like I said, I leave tactical gaps in the sense of where I'm planning to obviously where figures are going to be released. That's going to be hopefully more combiners. I just need to be able to get the combiners. I've got some of the is it Cheyenne culture, the train bots?
Yeah.
They're the top
Yeah,
middle. They're surprised, well, not even surprising. They're just very, very good, especially for legend scale. Top right again, it's just a hodgepodge of nonsense. It looks like just a pile of nothing there, but there is actually some form of like them standing in some sort of V shape. It just doesn't come across very well in the photo. But that is essentially the. Let's have a look. We've got a couple of the primes that have just been released. The Studio Series, the concept art Sunstreaker. That I think is a criminally underrated figure. Like it's just such a simple, fun toy. You can just transform back and forth, back and forth.
I kind of hoped it sort of made me think maybe they'll do a slapdash eventually, you know, Power Master.
Yeah, that would work from that. That'd be a very good mold actually for that. Then we move on. I'll be a bit quicker. This used to be like a rainbow effect of just Autobots, the bottom shelf. And then I ran out of space for Decepticons, so I had to go out the window. So essentially, like very much with Robot Cops, it's right, you're all going to stand next to each other and get along and let's not mess about. And it's like sardines, essentially, where you can see that whole mix of everything from there's third-party roller that you can just see by the arc. A mix of, I think there's Beast Wars hidden in there as well, the reissue.
It's like an NHS waiting room, isn't it? They're just packed in there with no
Yeah.
hole.
pretty much. And if you don't look on the top shelf right in the middle, you won't see a robo machine or machine robo figure there. That's a GoBot.
Actually,
Yeah,
I think robo machines are special. I think there's something wonderful about them.
That
Do I see?
after you, Robocop.
Do I see a Lyle Kaiser at the back?
Yes, you do. You see the Iron Factory version.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
It is a absolutely splendid little figure, and thankfully, because of that, I won't be getting the HasLab because I don't have the money for a HasLab of that
Same.
size. Yeah, unfortunately.
You got two kidneys, mate. You only need one to be
fair.
optimal, really.
Well played. The only reason why I've got that Robo or Machine Robo figure is because of
Yeah.
one skit from Robot Chicken involving
Oh,
Screwhead. That's it. I have no connection to it at all by that one.
Robot
what I think-
Kitchen's a bit dodgy. What did you want to use this GoBot for?
Not what you're thinking. let's just end it right there. Swiftly moving on. This will not be the entire collection. These are essentially because, again, I've got gaps that makes the collection look a bit rubbish. But so we've got here the original G1, Season 1, Season 2 Autobots. Not all of them. There is Silver Streak missing. But I believe there's a boxed version of him on Toyfu, which I'll be heading straight for if nobody else grabs him. Pretty please, no one else grab him. Then we've got here, obviously you got the Missing Link version there, and then the retro release, just because I'm not going to be spending silly money on a G1 Hound just because he has the petrol can and a wheel that go missing easily.
Yeah.
But that is what I've got there. Then we got the Decepticon version. And it wasn't until I set this up that I realized the Decepticons in Season 2, toys-wise, kind of get a bit shafted. In the sense of I don't think there's many more beyond what I've got here on the bottom shelf. Yet the Autobots seem to have quite a few more, including characters who weren't even in the show.
Yeah.
That Rumble / Frenzy, whatever you want to call it, that's the reissue version. You know, that came in that twin pack with the Japanese tape combiner. That's the reissue version there. The rest of them, I believe, are all original G1s. One might be missing a fist here and there, but that's all of them. Headmasters and Target Masters, as well as some of the Season 3 and Season 4 stuff, with, again, a few gaps, maybe for a Blur and a Cup in the future. If anyone's looking to complete a set in G1 the quickest, the flipping, I can't remember what's the group's name. Jamie, you love them. I forgot what's the name of them.
Autobots.
No, not them. The Goldbug, Rollbar, Chase.
No, actually, Autobots. That is them.
Throwbots, that's them. Throwbots. Is that
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
So-
Throwbots. You can get
Yeah,
them.
so it's my accent.
That's what I thought you said. Autobots. Sorry, mate.
Oh, no,
I
no,
was like,
Autobots.
I think I remember one of the two groups. But yeah, you can get them super cheap if you're just looking to complete a set cheap. I got them at the NEC Toy Fair for like £5 each, and then we'll finally go for
wow.
G2.
Oh,
This is
that's
my
a
era.
steal.
This is my issue of G2, or my era.
He's
is
flexing
G2,
now.
and that's my Omega Supreme that I was so happy
And
to
a
get.
Metroplex with stickers put on well, unlike my Metroplex, which is stickers
That-
have not been put on well.
This might make you a little bit jealous that it was bought from Rohan at TF UK Con 2 years ago, which I think you were unable to attend. But yeah, I got that from him. And yeah, two of these figures here on the bottom shelf are my actual childhood ones, which is Falcon and Motor Mouth. There we go. I always get confused with Motor Master, but that is pretty much, I think, one more screen. And of course, because nobody else showed Beachcombers, my lagoon of Beachcombers. Take it in, everyone. He's the best. And that's my collection.
Brilliant. Oh, that is a
Brilliant.
wonderful, wonderful collection there, Andy.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can't think of anything really negative to say apart from your T-shirt. And, you know, that's me drawing at straws there. So wonderful. Thanks for sharing your collections there, guys.
It's a TFNation shirt.
Not Transformers the show shot.
Oh,
That's
let me go
cost you
grab
some
one.
points.
Yeah.
Andy's strips online.
Yeah.
No, Andy,
No,
no.
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 I'm not at that stage yet.
Oh, sorry.
So you're at least 18. Welcome to the show. Where are we?
So, TF Nation Past. This is where we're going to be looking at TF Nation Past, and that's the question of where are we? So, I'm going to be asking you to share some pictures of your TF Nation Past so you can get that ready. Because, guys, you can get that, share that. Because the thing is, I decide when it goes on. So, when you click share, you're just prepared. It won't automatically share on the screen, so you're okay. I get to choose it, so you don't need to start what. So, you can start getting it ready if you need to. Now, TF Nation in the past, long ago for some of you, maybe just a couple of years back. What was your favorite toy food pickup from TF Nation past events? Bordersdude, what was your favourite Toy-Fu pickup?
My favourite Toy-Fu pickup has to be the reissue of the God Jinrai set that I got at the last TFNation. That I was at very reasonable price. And the chrome is mint. A bit like all Power Master Primes, the Cab Prime white plasticky bit at his crotch is snapped. That seems to be a common thing with Power Master figures. Rather than putting in high Q, fuck it, we'll just... Oh.
Children, close your ears.
So much for this being the CBB show of the
I
Transformers
know.
show universe.
Oh no!
I thought I've picked the clean cut people. You wear glasses. You're supposed to be good.
This is why I'm not allowed on the main show anymore.
To be honest, you are allowed on the main show. It's just it's so busy just now, and I think the guys are always trying to juggle things all the time. Bless their broken little hearts. Bordersdude, what was your favourite Toy-Fu pickup? Profanities.
Still the Power Master Prime. I think it represents quite a lot. So, the last TFNation.
Obviously, emotive. Maybe we'll let you calm down and we'll move to Robert Kopp. Robert Kopp, what was your favourite pickup?
For me, I think it was the Dreadwing. I got boxed Dreadwing last year, and that's the one with the smoke screen that you saw on separate shelves on the pictures earlier on, and I hadn't experienced that mold before. It was boxed, and I was surprised at the level of the transformation for the fact it's 30 odd years old as well. So that one kind of stands out for me because I just think it's such an awesome.
What do you mean mold. By you've not experienced that mold before?
I've never had a Dreadwing or the G2 Dreadwing. I never had I think it was the Robot Masters. They did a lot of re-releases, so it's the first time I'd experienced the mold, and I think that was the first time, potentially my first G2 figure as well.
And what drew it to you? Is it the sort of shagadelic, hallucinogenic colours?
Just the colours, and I'm starting to get the thing about I just want stuff that just doesn't care what it is. It's living its best life.
So it's like the Austin Power of the Transformer toys, isn't it?
Not quite as sexy as Austin Powers, but getting there.
Well, of course, you know, but you can lick them, unlike Austin Powers. But you know, you may get a coat hoarder. You know, you can do what you want with your own Transformer toys. Andy, Mr. McFeely, what was your favourite Toy-Fu pickup?
Mine is very much more nostalgic based, because it was literally my first ever purchase of any TFN, and people might be shocked to hear what it is, just because it's renowned for being usually looked at as being a shite toy. I added an E at the end.
Don't go Irish on me. That's not a defence.
See what I've started. See what I've started.
It's G1 broadside. Usually looked at as just a brick, even to the point where on eBay you'll find listings of him pictured as just a brick in the past.
He's a beautiful brick, though.
He is. I got him complete with the missiles, the gun, and the axe, and it opened my eyes to just not look at a figure as just going, he looks a bit rubbish. When you get him in hand, you see everything with him. Yeah, his plane mode's still questionable, but the ship mode's awesome. The robot is just goofy and silly, but with the missiles and the axe, it's just awesome. It's just really rubbish.
Toys which can be used, you know, in self-defense because it's that heavy and blunt. But it's a beautiful figure, and I know what you mean by this imagination. You get it in your hand, your imagination goes on fire, and suddenly it's got more life to it than maybe a much better articulated toy, which just means nothing to you.
Because the thing is, that year, like I said, the first year, I was next to you and Robert Kopp in the queue going, I could have worn your ears off by just saying over and over again, I want G2 Ransack, I want G2 Ransack, I want G2 Ransack. I ran in, G2 Ransack's right there. I grabbed broadside out of nowhere, just completely rogue. And like I said, it's legitimately just, is my favorite Toy Food pickup, because also part of the reason is what my favorite is because I'll be honest, I can't remember many of my other ones. Like, well, I usually go to Toy Food first time.
Is that
And at
because
that
you
point-
don't buy much from Toy Food?
Oh no,
You
I
know?
do. I buy a ton from Toy Food. It's just usually in the first 5 minutes when it's that absolute adrenaline rush of the doors have opened.
Sure,
You've
you
got to
do.
hit
On your way
everything.
to the orphanage, I bet you do. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
you do.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
I know, it's-
Don't let anyone see you don't.
No, it's not till like 30 minutes later when you finish all your purchases, you're sitting at the bar and you go, where did that come from? Like, you just don't remember. You just bought that from Toy Food.
Oh, awesome. Well, I'm going to just share some quick pictures of Bordersdude, TFNations past. Feel free to make any comments you want there, Bordersdude.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So all these
Is
pictures.
that
are
your hand?
That is, yes. That was to remind
Okay,
me I was
good.
at TF Nation, so I didn't get lost. No, all these pictures are from the very first TF Nation in 2016. And I just thought that'd be more fitting rather than, I think we've all probably met each other at subsequent TFNs. So at that time, I didn't know any of you guys. But I just thought it's always interesting to have a look back at these sort of past conventions and see what was in stock, even though the photos aren't the best, to be honest. But
I love that floor. You can definitely hide sick in that floor, can't you? Yeah.
I was doing that earlier when I was trying to find pictures of myself on the TFN website through the gallery, and you're just looking in the background of all the stuff that was on stalls, and you're thinking, why did I not grab that? But it's like you don't know what's going to be what in like 5 years' time.
Yeah.
And that's my friend who no longer comes to conventions, unfortunately. That's Retro Prime. And I'm sure you can spot a few people in that picture.
Yes, I can.
It's true.
And there's who knows what it all had there, but probably very nice.
Is that what's the name? Space.
That's a space bridge, yeah. So
Yeah, Space Bridge.
it would have been very nice and slightly cheaper than it will be now. Now, there we go. Look at all these guys here. We're also young and had more hair
And hopeful.
than hopeful. And look,
Is that your seduction pose there, John? Just
that's.
looking cool.
I'm like, oh, he's wearing that blooming hat again. And there we go. I don't know what stall that was. Now, that's the
Of course.
Kabaya Candy Ultra Magnets. I was actually gifted that by Dave Shotton, who goes by Shooty on Instagram. Very long time friend. But that was really nice. It's always nice to get gifts when you're there. And
Good cover story there. You got a name, you've got an identity,
yeah, brilliant.
Well done, John. That's good. You covered your bases there.
And
No
the
one
80s
ever know, but you just helped yourself to it. Well done. A
And I
receipt.
thought, for a laugh, I thought, why not? Let's see what the prices were like back in 2016.
Oh my god. I wouldn't even get you one fish finger sandwich at the Hilton.
You gurgitated one, maybe.
Yeah. I'll probably triple that now, at least. And again, I think that may have been Max and Me Toys.
Well,
Who
thanks,
does?
John, for sharing that. Some of your photos there. Guys, I can see that you haven't got your photos ready.
Ready.
All right, Andy's first. Andy, we got Andy.
Right, mine's going to be super quick because I've only got 2 pictures, which will lead into
All
something.
right, it's brilliant. And
This is
transfers
me.
them on the show, plus point.
Yeah, there we go. So obviously, the guy on the left is Mr. Greg Berger, absolute legend. Weren't going to miss an opportunity of meeting Mr. Grimlock himself. And the second picture, there you go, it's just me and Robert Kopp at the auction, where for no reason at all we bid on stuff. No, we're never going to win it because either the Bakes brothers or Spider Father was going to outbid us instantaneously, which they did on both items.
You guys could be like brothers in that photo. You'd be like kids, like your hair's like matching,
Yeah.
the same facial expression, You
I
could
was
be
thinking
like, yeah.
First there was the
You
Chuckle
know.
Brothers, now there's us.
I was thinking I would walk 500.
Oh, pretty.
Tribute band, the Reclaimers.
Yeah.
Oh
The
god.
Reclaimers, yeah.
But yeah, that is
your G1 Transformers.
I hate to say it, but that is literally it. I have got no photos of me at any other TFN.
Oh,
At
there were
all.
wonderful photos there. Oh.
Oh yeah, short but sweet.
Robert Kopp's got
Oh,
photos of you.
Well, there goes that PG rating well and truly out the window.
Yeah, was that what you were doing this Saturday night? One finger, Robert. One finger.
Sorry, I didn't even notice the finger when I picked this one out.
Oh, I'm
so
sure
sorry.
that's what you said to him that night.
Oh, I've only got a handful as well. I think John's doing the heavy lifting in this section. Yeah, so I think that was we must have been at that was the queue, the early access queue last year. I think Andy, wasn't it? Could be wrong.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
Yes, on the way to that. Yeah.
Yep. I'm trying to find out where's my thing. There we go. This is my so 2022 was my first TFN, and this is my first hall pick or my first round of going around the hall. So the Starscream and the Unicron
Nice.
were from Toyfu. The Takara Springer was from In Demand, and I can't remember the other one. I can't remember where I got them from. Probably In Demand as well. To be honest, that Unicron is a really good price, and I didn't appreciate how good a figure it was, and I gave it to my son, who's lost some of the missiles and stuff like that. So, yeah, but I'd be kind of on the lookout for another one for myself. It's a really, really good figure, and so it's a Starscream as well. This is me and the Bumblebee. I think that was last year as well. This is me and Lindsay Rousseau in 2022. And that's
so hot that time, I remember. I remember being inside that room, and it was everyone's just dripping with sweat and stuff like that. It was just
2022 was the bad year, absolute bad year.
Horrendous. Yeah. And TF Nation, that was Andy there. Andy Gold, who said it was a bad year, 2022.
Weather. So I've just got an email. We've refunded your tickets. What?
Thankfully, less competition. So basically, thinking about the people who are watching this, I can see a lot of people who are actually watching this have been to TF Nation. So they know the score. They know how tough it really is. They know it's like an 80s action movie, where hearts are broken, animals die left, right, and center, and so do children. And it gets the tears, the emotions, TF Nation. But for someone who's not used to that type of heartbreak, what advice would you give them for TF Nation?
There's a few things from me. So the first year I went, I didn't really know anybody in person, never met really anybody before, and I was really anxious about speaking with people. I was lucky I was with my wife. She's not quite as reserved as I am, but I was just tremendously anxious. So kind of recommendations I give if someone hasn't gone before or is thinking of going is get on the social media. Get in the Facebook groups, get on TFW 2005, try and connect with some people. And I think that you can find people that you can look to meet up with, even if it's just a quick hello or something like that. I think that would be my advice if there's anyone who's a bit nervous about going or nervous to speaking with people. And also, I think it's one of the most kind of inclusive spaces I've been in. It's busy, but everyone's there because they love Transformers, unless someone's better half who's been pulled along, such as my wife. But you can really just go up to anybody and say, hey, them Transformers, or if someone's just out the dealer room and they've got a boxing table at the bar, just go up and talk to them, and people will be delighted to talk to you about it. Just try and get through any nervousness you might have.
My other half goes with me, Maylan, just to make sure I don't come back with actual Transformer fans. Where I go, Maylan, he was 50% off. It was a steal. I figured we would put him on the side of the room over there, and he could help transform stuff. But yeah, I understand what you mean by taking your partner, because the way I look at it, life is short, and I want to spend every moment with my partner. So if that means taking her to a place that kills her soul and drains her energy, I'll do that happily. But in a roundabout way, it makes it easier for me for TF Nation, because I don't need to worry about being there by myself, because obviously I've got my partner, Maitland, and sometimes I think it's very easy for someone like myself to not appreciate how truly difficult it is for someone who's just going there by themselves, as if they're going out. Sometimes Mount Everest might seem like an easier option.
Yeah.
When it is going to such a crowded, busy place.
I think I can jump in on that bit, because the first TFN I went to, I'm not even joking when I say this, I walked around the bar area, Resort World, and the panels for about 4 or 5 hours by myself. I didn't speak to one single person because of how scared I was. Absolutely petrified. And my advice is to people is don't be afraid to just say hello to anyone you know who's there for the convention. It took me ages, and the first person I went up and talked to was Paul. Got chatting to Paul, said about how I was a fan of the show, and he invited me onto the quiz team. And the quiz team never made it to the quiz. And next thing you know, I'm sat down at the table talking to everyone, and then Robert Kopp sat next to me. He overheard that my name was Andy Gold, and he asked me if I was Andy Gold from TFW 2005, and we got started talking through there because we're on the same forum together. And next thing you know, I'm there for like the next 3-4 hours talking to all these different people that I could have been speaking to a lot earlier if I just had the courage to say hello.
Well, we went out for lunch together where I had the most horrendous meal ever. I couldn't even chew this food. And I've got cybernetic implants. I'm like Jaws. I'm like a superhero. These teeth are like sheer titanium, and I could not chew the steak.
I do remember, the whole time it's like, I can't get through this, Maitland. This is ridiculous.
I could chew that knife and fork because it's the titanium teeth I've got.
It's bent the fork, Maitland. But no,
it's still alive. It's going moo.
So no, as hard and as easy as it may sound to just be able to say hello, like I said, I walked around the whole place for about 4 or 5 hours, did not speak to anyone, sat in the corner with a pint of Coke for about 30 minutes, didn't say hello to anyone. Don't be afraid of hello. It will open up doors and you'll be talking to everyone.
I think it's an important thing to realize. If you do say hello to someone and they don't respond in a jovial way or just as receptive as you, remember they might just be as nervous as you are.
Yeah.
And they're probably thinking, someone said hello to me. Oh, what do I, and I think we don't appreciate that as well. I mean, it's really hard to say hello to someone, and then it's equally hard to respond.
Yeah.
So I would take that and give people a second, third, fourth chance, because it's a small community. You're going to see these people again. So they might have not been receptive to you the first time. Give them another chance, another few chances, really, because we all know what it's like. We all know it's been there, and sometimes you just don't know what to say. Yeah. You really don't. Usually I'm saying a pint of Guinness, but it's not appropriate. Not with someone I've just met. I like to wait for the second sentence.
I do have one other quick little point as well. Yeah. Is if it's your first time at the event, be prepared potentially for sensory overload, which is what I went through. Yeah. Like heat, people, colours, sound. My first year. Is that
why you find it hard to talk to me because I'm so beautiful?
It's because I can't look at you in the eyes, Jamie. I can't do it. No.
I'll bring sunglasses for you next time.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. But no, I remember that's the first Sunday after being Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That Sunday I was exhausted, and just as soon as I got home, I crashed and slept for about 12 hours just because of everything that was happening around. So just be prepared that if you need to take a break, just step away. They have I think quiet rooms set up. So just if you need to step away, just step away. It's fine.
I just say kind of go for a walk around Resorts World. Go get lunch at the NEC or somewhere else if you want. There's just kind of do what's right for you.
Yeah, I'm on a mission to go for a curry in Birmingham because I haven't been for a curry in Birmingham yet. And I feel like it needs to be done. And I've been to 4 TF Nations and I've not went for one. So
I
I'm
think you need
determined
someone
to
to
do
help
that.
you with that, and I'm willing to be there to help you.
Good, and I am willing not to be able to chew my food like the last time you went out.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'll hold you to that. Me and Maylin will definitely hold that. You know,
Good.
definitely. You know, we'll pick a day because it's like Friday might be a good day actually, because Saturday I guess we're really busy. Friday or
Yeah.
Sunday, it depends when you're going back. Definitely going to hold you to that.
I'm going back. I'm going back Monday. There you go.
Oh, good. So we could maybe even grab Sunday then. So thinking about your past TFNations, and I'm sorry, I'm going to move on quickly because I know I'm drawing this out. What was your favorite guest from a part? And just say two sentences at the most. Bordersdude, favorite guest.
Stan Bush and the concert was just, you had to be there to experience it. Amazing.
Were you dancing?
Oh, absolutely, I was. Yeah. And
What
if you
type
want,
of
why
dancing were
not?
you doing?
No.
Were you doing like ukulele dancing, like reverence, where you're scared for your life? Or were you doing dancing where you're just getting down with the other guys? What type?
Oh, the type of dancing I was doing, there's just no words for it, Jamie. There's just no words.
Were people moving away from you? Were they screaming?
They
Oh,
were
was it
screaming
like-
around me. You know, tops were flying up and everything. And I was like, whoa, come on, guy.
Oh, good. That's the type of
Oh.
dancing I like.
Yeah.
What about Cop? Favorite guest?
It would be David Kay, and I really regretted last year not getting one of the Legends passes. I really think the Beast Wars cartoon is the best storytelling in
Well, can't go,
Transformers in my experience.
I think that's a really good choice. Much better than Borderdude's choice, which was, to be honest, a bit cliche. Bordersdude. I'm sorry, it's just too simple. Everyone seems to go for that. Just those sexy pop stars, you know.
Yeah.
Mr. McFeely, best guest.
Very simple. Andy Cousins, God rest his soul. Creator or designer of the toys of my childhood. It's really that simple. Like the toys he made or he played a part in were the toys that I had when I was 4, 5, 6 growing up. It was just awesome to me, and it's awesome to have one of the blueprints. Blueprints design. I can't remember the technical term, but framed up there that I got from him the year he was able to get there. It'll be at TFN, so it's awesome to have met him.
Oh, cool. So, guys, make sure if you see these people around, or people like Jack Lawrence who said, if you're not sure who to talk to, you can talk to these guys. They'll understand where you're coming from. And Jack Lawrence as well said, you know, come to him. There'll be lots of people around him, and he's a very friendly guy. And the people around him are quite friendly as well. Probably best avoid me. I'm just a grouch, you know. But you always need a really annoying person at these conventions, and I filled that role admirably. Anyway,
Grab a brew and join the crew, become part of our scene.
what are we looking for? Oh, just showing you my toy favorite pickup, little squid person, brilliant. And then obviously, yeah, that was my favorite toy food pickup. Well loved. Yes, TF Nation present. What are you guys looking forward to for this? What grails do you want? Bordersdude, what grail do you want?
Don't have any grails this year. I suppose that Box Ultra Magnus from Toy Foo could be counted as one. But yeah, this year I'm quite happy not to have, you know, a super must-have figure to get, because you always have that anxiety when you're waiting in the queue, even if you do have the early pass. So it's just nice. And if I don't get the Ultra Magnus figure, I don't get it. Plenty more in the
Well, I want you to know I take no real pleasure in getting that Ultra Magnus figure before you.
Oh,
I might be smiling lots, but I want you to understand it's with a heavy heart I'll be smiling.
Don't you worry, I'll steal it from you when you're not looking. I can run pretty
And
fast.
you can try. You can try, John. And I'll be there waiting for you. I'll have string all around my bedroom attached to a little teddy bear. And so I will know the minute that teddy bear's arm moves that someone has entered my room. And I'll be watching there, Ultra Magnus with a light shining on it, just to sucker you in, John. I'll be waiting.
Never mind.
Robert Cop, David Grail coming. What are you looking for?
I think if I could find a minty complete Rotor Storm, I would be over the moon. I want to finish up the Turbo Masters, so that's high on my list. I also know that I think one of the vendors has got a G1 Fort Max as well. So depending on the price, one could be interested in that. Quality over quantity for me.
And you, Mr. Gold, what grail are you after?
Energon Beachcomber. I started a goal at the beginning of the year to get one of every beachcomber that's been released, and if I knew this one existed, I may have thought twice about entering that challenge. To figure out he's just a recolored cliff jumper, and then to realize that I think he's not been released in Japan. It's a Hasbro only toy, and it got a bit of a minimum release. If he's there, I will fight anyone for him. He does look like a good toy anyway. I'm not just doing
I want to see you fight in a comical way, you know, with the pat of hands. Well,
give me it.
Screaming in a German accent.
Oh, that I can do, yeah.
that would just make it the complete TF Nation experience. And there'll be people watching that going, and that's the guy we were supposed to approach because he's meant to be friendly.
Give me that beach comber.
Animal.
Come on.
Give me that beach comber. Yeah.
That's mine.
Come on, Hans. Come on, Hans.
Oh, yes. I said I wasn't going to do it. You tricked me, Jamie.
Put the strudel down, Hans. Put the strudel down. Can't think of any other German names apart from the obvious one, which I don't want to say. But yes, so for people who might be watching this, and I'm pretty sure everyone watching this knows what TF Nation is, but TF Nation is going to be 8th to 10th of August, Hilton Birmingham Hotel. Birmingham is a central city in the UK. I think for many it's the second largest city. And it's basically a nice central point for people to migrate to get to TF Nation. And it's been like that since, like, I think Bordersdude correctly said about 2016, where it only was off because of to do with COVID, when they sort of slowed down and stopped thing there. Now that you mentioned your grails, does anyone have a real grail? The kind of thing they don't want to mention because of the wide a bit competition, but instead they don't mind sharing it in front of YouTube and a couple of million people. A real grail.
Yeah, of course. Diaclone powered convoy. Now that's a real grail in box.
Does that mean I would need 2 teddy bears if I got that with strings attached? Yeah,
and probably a bank loan.
Well, but you, Robert Kopp, you're thinking, Andy's thinking about it, but you should already have a real
I think an Energon Beachcomber.
I like
Oh.
Do you know what would be good? When you get it, go to the bar, lick it, get it in your mouth, because that's the sign of a good toy, and then do the wall test. I'll help you. How many times can it survive against the wall? Then we can say it was a good toy, Andy. It was really good. 28 times. I didn't think it would make it past 12, but I was wrong.
Don't make a grown man cry.
I think on a more kind of serious note, and I don't think I could bring myself to spend the money, but if there was a complete really good condition, some of the Victory figures, the original ones, such as a Land Cross, for example.
That's the exact figure I was thinking of, was Land Cross. Just a ridiculous.
Or Road Caesar, Galaxy Shuttle. Any of those. I have a thing. I really want kind of good condition versions of things. So one thing is, you can find a Rotostorm on eBay, for example, but it's missing bits or chipped or things like that. But no, some of the Victory stuff. If I get it, it would be happy.
I always want sort of the best version you can get, and I want it to look good. I know I joke about the wall test and getting it in your mouth. These are just sayings of, British vernacular. And basically, I'm worried when I take the thing out of the box. Oh, did I rub against the cardboard too much? Oh, no, what have I done? I've got to check it.
I remember seeing you with that Pretender Starscream, and you're very delicate with everything,
I know. It's like, I even got that another pretender which had gold plastic syndrome, and the way I did that, I honestly had the Mission Impossible music playing in my head, dude. and I just had to sort of fix it. Then I thought, you're never being transformed ever again. I think it was Spider-Father that told me. He went, Jamie, it was like a moment of wisdom. Like he's like some guru. He says, you don't need to put it back in the shell. And I went, he's right. I don't. oh God. It was like a revelation, And I swear the way he said it was almost like he was sounding like a Sean Connery trying to do Gandalf, but a bit drunk. It was just cool. And Spider-Father was right, and he's always gives you these tips, because he seems to know what faults these toys might have and how they might break. Thinking about the present TF Nation, and we were looking at some of the guests there. What are you looking forward to the most out of the guests?
Oh, definitely Scott McNeil. I know he's been there a few times, and even Auto Assembly, the pre-TFN, but he always seems to be highly rated in terms of interaction with the fans, be it at his signings or just at the bar.
Scott McNeil has a look where he could just wipe out your entire family line, doesn't he? He's like a cowboy. It's like
when you look at his,
do something wrong,
you just look at his IMDb, and it's amazing what he's been in that you've probably watched but haven't realised. He's sort of main guest I'm hoping to get something signed for. I've not opted for the £75 meet and greet yet, but there's still time.
Well, the thing is, because TF Nation's so awesome, you would get a chance to get a signature from him anyway.
Yeah.
You don't need to go for this personalised meet and greet. And I think that's the one thing you've got to understand about TF Nation. They really do try to cater for everyone's sort of budget, and they try to make it a friendly place. They really work on it. When you've got people like Jack Lawrence who will come and say hello to me at the bar, he actually means it. And I think that's especially if you've got anxiety, you're probably used to people saying that kind of stuff and not meaning it. We've all been there. We've all heard that kind of patter before. But with these guys, they genuinely mean it. And I mean the TF Nation staff. You see a TF Nation t-shirt, those volunteers, go and chat to them. They will give you the time of day. They really will, because they will understand it. They'll be trained on it as well. And I think that's what makes that convention special compared to other conventions, because these are people volunteering to work who have a love for Transformers and they have a love for people. And I just can't praise them enough. And I don't think sometimes we don't sell that enough when we talk about TF Nation, about all the people behind the scenes, But just avoid Mr. McFeely there, the smaller McFeely, when he's speaking in a German accent and going patter and so on. But yeah. But what about Cop? What guests are you looking forward to?
I think there's a lot of really good names and a lot of TFN regulars there, like Borders. I think Scott McNeil's a real attraction. But I've also gone for my first art commission this year, so I've gone for get that from Jack Lawrence. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Jack ends up doing with the commission.
I've never done a commission. I've always been really nervous about it. I've always been worried that I might look at it and I go,
I was as well. For first time for a lot of things, I overthink it and I make it more complicated than it is. But I don't know if I came across as an idiot, but I kind of wrote to him and said blah 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 and sorted something out. So looking forward to picking up.
I think my trouble with Transformers the show is I've given up trying to hide the fact I'm an idiot. It's there for people to see, but I think it's okay being an idiot, and I think we're at that stage in our lives that we all should be allowed to be idiots. The people who have got something against idiots, they've got their own problems, and I genuinely mean that. So be idiotic, have fun, and don't worry about saying, because you're only going to learn. You know, because hopefully it'll be the first convention of many, or for some it might be the second convention, and maybe this is a convention where they feel like they're going to try to do something a little bit different. So don't worry about other people's expectations. Never worry about that. Just worry about having fun yourself. And that's the only sort of proper advice I can give. Andy, who are you looking forward to?
Well, looking at those guests, it's a proper eclectic group from like the beginning to current Transformers fandom. But I always go back to James Roberts about how like More Than Meets the Eye is just a great comic book series. I like having quick chats with him. Also this year I hope to ask for his gym regimen, how he got his abs, because they are some absolute madness for his Instagram post. But Jack Lawrence as well, I've also got a commission out for him as well. I followed Robert's example, so I'm looking forward to that as well. So it'll be Jack and James Roberts.
Oh, you know, guys, wonderful, awesome choices there. And I hope you really do have a great time when you meet these wonderful people. And hopefully they all are wonderful people. I mean, there's no one there. I mean, that Simon Furman's always a bit suspicious, isn't it? He doesn't seem to age. You know, I swear he's been like that for like 3 decades. I'm scared it's going to be a waxwork, which is just automated.
AI Simon Furman.
Yeah. But that's someone who I'm really looking forward to. And if he notices me taking arm hairs, you know, it's because it's for science. Yes.
From Michael Bay to Marvel, UK, everyone on English.
Now, TF Nation Future, this is us coming to our closing segment, so we will be closing soon. This is where we think about what we want to see about TF Nation in the future. What ideas do we have if we were completely in control? Now, one question I have for each of you guys is, imagine in the future, aliens invade. Aliens invade and haven't really got physical forms, so they decide to take on the physical forms of our most beloved 80s cartoon characters, you know, or even films from the 80s. And we find ourselves in a war. It's a hellish war, but we really want to get to TF Nation, but they're in our way. And you're in a TF Nation unit who's fighting again them. Think about Zulu. Think about that from Zulu, you know, where you're going against numerical superior odds. And the aliens start to sing a song. You don't have a clue, but you think to yourself, you know what, it's a bit of a groovy beat. What song would you choose? And you know your comrades around you would be able to sing, thinking about Zulu, you know, you might be a tenor, you know. What song would you sing back in retaliation to the aliens? And I'm going to go randomly to Andy first. What song would you sing back?
Why have you done that? Because all I've got stuck in is the flipping song from Frasier.
Go sing that song.
I'm not having us go, oh baby, I hear the blues are coming as we're going into war. Because I was thinking Kelsey Grammer's been a Transformers, and then suddenly it's just like, oh, why's my brain gone that route? What's happened here? Oh God, I honestly don't know. You really proper sprung that one on. I don't know. Eye of the Tiger. I'd like to hear the other suggestions.
Eye of the Tiger. Someone's just told you that the GoBot fan unit got wiped out. and it's only the TF Nation rear guard still standing, and then they need a strong song.
You're gonna have to move on from me, mate. You've completely caught me off guard with that question entirely.
All right, Robert Kopp, what song would you pick?
My head went to Agadoo.
I suppose you
Not going to win any wars with that.
I didn't think Frasier could get much worse. Now I know where Agadoo.
Yeah. Oh, Zulu was missing out on you guys.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Or the aliens you're fighting and they're singing their song and you be by Agadoo.
I'll be honest, I'd be more scared if the enemy were singing that coming towards me.
Yeah.
Like, they're not scared of us at all. They're singing Agadoo.
Bordersdude, what song would you pick?
You know, we'd need something to rally the troops. And while you're hoping I'd pick Proclaimers, Jamie, I'm not going to. I'm going to pick Shakin' Stevens, Merry Christmas, everyone. Think of it. Oh, Fury. You're in that nostalgic feeling. You're taking on your 80s heroes. All those memories come flooding back, and then you're going to go and chop Lionel's head off. Brilliant.
I'll sing some of the song and see if it would work.
Oh, I'd sing. That'd cost extra.
Well, we've all just got beaten by the aliens. That's a shame, isn't it, lads?
Yeah.
Not one of you picked a Transformers song.
I
No.
said, I think I couldn't sing Stan. Well, you can't sing Stan Bush because that's a whole verse and a chorus. You'll be there for ages before you've even charged at him.
You can be going, dare to believe you can survive. You can hold the future in your hand.
No, you could do
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Easy layup. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Or dare to be stupid.
It seems like it's been forever. Oh.
Yeah.
We'd all be dead screaming.
Yeah.
Getting killed by aliens dressed up as Care Bears. Going, oh my God, I never realized Care Bears were so ferocious.
Yeah. The last survivor screaming, "Good night, Seattle. I love you."
Quick, Chris, do your German accent. It's the only thing that can save us. I'm not Chris, I'm Andy. You know what I meant. Had the cake, had the cake.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I suppose an easy one to do would be go row, row, row your boat gently down, and then you can get into that.
Fair.
You know,
Okay.
the English don't understand English. We'll be okay. They'll just be impressed about how coordinated we are.
Oh boy.
Well, thinking about future TFNations, somehow we managed to survive the alien invasion. Our songs weren't brilliant, but you know, we made. What guests would you like to see for future TFNations? Robert Kopp.
Nothing original here. I think he's getting really on a bit, but Cullen and Welker would be kind of because well, more Peter Cullen because of his age. But if they could somehow get him over and he was healthy and stuff, then you'd have to do it, wouldn't you?
Or Chris Hemsworth, a younger Peter Cullen. Many might argue.
Yep. No, I think it'd have to be.
I think your wife would appreciate my answer, to be honest, Robert Kopp, and I think she'd be very delighted if he was over. Suddenly she'd be very keen about going to TF Nation, I think you would find.
Possibly. She might be enchanted that way.
They announced Chris Hemsworth and Scarlett Johansson ticket sales will go through the roof for both genders.
Oh, I would be so nerve-wracking just meeting any two of them. Oh.
Oh.
Robert Kopp, sorry, Bordersdude. What guest would you like to see?
Along the same lines as Robert Kopp, but I'd like to see Neil Ross, the voice of Springer.
Yep.
Also, loads of different, again, multi-talented voice actor, isn't he? So he can't go wrong.
I think that's one thing I didn't really appreciate until I started going to TF Nation, the wonderful, talented voice actors out there. I always think about the writers and the artists, but I never really thought about the people who gave life to the animated cartoons.
Well, I think coming back to the start of this, where you're asking why Transformers, and I was thinking about it earlier on, but I didn't say it. It was, I think the voice actors did give a lot of life and identity to the characters in the cartoon, for me anyway. And also the movie. So I watched the movie a lot when I was a kid, and everything's so distinct and rich. You can picture the characters really well because their voices are so unique or so well done.
I think that's a great thing to pick up on, because I think when people think of like Transformers, they think about they could be generic voices. And I think in some cartoons, I've seen that, but then you think about Transformers Prime, etc., where they really put in those distinctive different voices, and that's when you realise the creative processes behind these talented actors. And I never mentioned Michael Bay. You know, ever mention Michael Bay? He put in a lot of effort as well in trying to give some of these Transformers sort of French accents, Italian. Really sort of doing something which I think we had in TV when you think about Star Trek. You know, and then we seem to have moved away from that. We moved away from nationalities or people having different sounding voices. You know, and it's not because the actors can't do it, because the actors can. I think it's because they just wanted a more generic, and I think a dull thing, where the voices are almost monotone and safe. You know, which I wish they would bring back, because you're right. I look at some of the 80s cartoons and it's just wonderful how different those voices are. Andy, what guests are you looking forward to?
I share a very similar opinion with Robert regards Prime Welker. I'd love Frank Welker to be there, but obviously age, Peter Cullen as well, age and health. I think that ship's unfortunately sailed. But I think Judd Nelson, I always get the names. Judd Nelson, gentleman played Hot Rod, Rodimus Prime.
Yep.
I think it'd be cool to have him turn up, just to be able to kind of get his viewpoint of joining. When he would have got offered the role, when you're reading the script, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have cared at the time. But I imagine, like, from his viewpoint, we've always heard about voice actors reading the script and going, "You're killing off all our characters. What are you doing?" But from his point of view, I'm joining this movie, and you're suddenly killing off all the people who are on the TV show. Like, does he have any concern? Did he ever have like fears or concerns regards that, or is it a case of, no, this is just a job. It's a bunch of robots fighting on a screen. I'm just going to get paid and leave. It's just interesting to see his viewpoint of how he stepped in and kind of how he approached the job.
You could ask him, why did he kill Optimus Prime in the movie?
Oh yeah. First question: why did you do it?
I like the fact you used the word "killed" there, and we know it's murder. But it's when I look at literature, you know, and I always never like to answer, "Oh, it's the way it was written," or "It's because they wanted to get rid of those toys." That doesn't matter the original reason. Do not degrade or take away from those writers and what they try to do to make it, you know, enjoyable. Even if it was a bit cliche, because obviously Hot Rod was playing the part of the junior, wasn't he? The apprentice. And in a lot of 80s films and 90s films, even now, it's always the apprentice with their own youthful mistakes that end up slightly causing the death or the much more experienced teacher. And they kept to that trope. You know,
it's just a case of like I said, from the voice actor's point of view, like when he received the script, again, he ain't gonna be watching the cartoon. He would have been like 30 something at this point. But he must have been thinking, right, in the first 5 pages of the script, you've literally killed off all the characters from the TV show. Like, what are we doing here? Like, did you not have any concerns regards any of that, or you just case of, like I said, you just got a paycheck and go, yep, thank you, I'll read the lines and leave?
I wonder if his viewpoint would have changed. I think if you asked him when he was fresh, he wouldn't have cared. And I think maybe later he might. I think that's the type of thing where because there's a lot of people, the viewpoints change, but they will argue, but that was the original viewpoint.
Yeah.
And I don't think, and I think it's an easy sort of
hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is with hindsight is that a lot of people will claim that they had the hindsight, or they'll talk about the hindsight, but I think sometimes they don't realize how their attitude completely changes as they get older and they look back into it. I think it'd be brilliant to ask these sort of type of questions. And I often think that's why I like these social influencers on Hasbro, you know, where you get engineers and you can message them, you can talk to them, and they reply to you, and you can get into their thoughts about the toy, and they're quite polite, and I think that's awesome. And I think, that'd be brilliant for me. I like all your ideas. Actually, I think speaking to someone like Judd Nelson would be on. I would have liked to speak to Leonard Nimoy. You know, maybe he was still around, because I just loved his Galvatron. I just think that was the most awesome evil Decepticon voice I've ever heard in my entire life in mortal existence. you know. And I'm not saying that we should dig up his corpse and clone him, because that would be wrong. But if someone else was to do it, and make a
By all
Galvatron
means.
voice that, yeah, you know, obviously we'd be against it morally, but we'd be thinking, but yeah, I can understand, you know, I can appreciate it, you know.
How terrible. But on the other hand,
Yeah, obviously we jest.
yeah, don't do it.
Jamie, can
They all
I
thought
quickly
it'd be-
just
Yeah.
can I just quickly shout out Bristol's suggestion and just add to it Mark and also Evan from the design team. I think that could be really good if they did a panel on the whole process. I think that could be something different.
Oh, Bristol, you
Then what-
deserve to
what
get a
can we
pint
do?
for that. Thank God I'm a cheapskate, so I won't. But that's a good comment there. Well spotted there. Yes, getting some of the design team. I've often wanted this to hear, or through a translator, some of the Takara design team. Because I often think with Hasbro, they're working with tandem with Takara, and I think sometimes that's wonderful relationship, but it might also complicate things as well. And I would like to know the positives and negatives and how fruitful that relationship is. Yes, that would be something that'd be brilliant. Then they could do panels and stuff, and you'd obviously be bringing in your toys to get them signed, wouldn't you? I mean, there'd be a myriad of toys coming in. I know someone said for TF Nation you shouldn't bring in your stuff to get signed, but I think people would be, or you know, buying some of the stuff at TF Nation event to get signed. Just thinking, if you had complete and utter control, what one thing would you change about TF Nation? And you don't need to explain it. You don't need to defend it. You know, what one thing would you change about TF Nation to suit you? Bordersdude.
I'd make the dealer room bigger with more suppliers, vendors, whatever you want to call them.
What would you do? Would you glue tables to the ceiling and ask
Oh,
people to sit upside?
We just knock through a wall. There's always walls to knock
Guide ropes. You'd use a guide rope to go round.
and I'd have at least 30 minutes to run around on my own and just grab everything like supermarket sweep, all for free.
Awesome. Robert Cop, what one thing would you change?
I think there's some really good customs that are associated with the main TFN event, and so long as this didn't affect what that brings to the event, I would like to see official Hasbro customs for the event, maybe limited run sort of figures, even if it's a repaint or a slight retool. I'm not sure if they ever did that previously in the earlier days of the auto assembly days, but I would like to see kind of official figures for the event.
I would like to, I agree with you, Robert Kopp, and I'm glad you opened this door, because to get Hasbro into the event, we would have to get rid of third party. And with heavy tears and a smile, I would gladly do that. You know?
Oh no, goodbye.
But I think for Hasbro to be involved, there would probably have to be no real sort of third party there. And I mean fourth party, not official licensed third party like Blockies.
I'd want to be able to keep the customs. I think it's Matt does them, and some of them get raffled off or auctioned off, and it all goes to Toy-Fu and charity and stuff. I want to be able to keep that and have this official.
Oh, you're a gentleman in the skull are thinking about Toy-Fu and charity. I'm still
One of the
thinking about
customs.
just me.
So
Yeah,
that's
like
one of
that.
the-
Yeah.
One of the Toy-Fu customs.
So, Andy, what would you change?
Mine is well, for this year specifically, is probably release a bit more of the schedule than they already have, so people can plan a little bit better. But I think Bisto hit the nail on the head. If I could actually make like one.
Oh, Andy, all you've been doing is attacking TF Nation all night.
No, I haven't. I think Bisto hit the nail on the head. Aircon in the trader hall room. That'd be great. Then, although the only problem there then is I would never leave the trader hall room. So find the balance there.
Well, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for running over by about 40 minutes. I do apologize. Originally, it was meant to be 40 minutes. I really messed up in the timing. Hopefully, this is the first of many sort of sort of event shows that which we do with random people from the fandom who obviously watch Transformers the show. We don't want to go up to random people in a supermarket and go, "Hey, do you want to go on this YouTube show?" That might cause us some problems. It's like that time I went to a nightclub and I went to a girl, "Come with me if you want to live." You know, granted, not everyone's a Terminator fan, and granted, it might have helped if I did it in an Austrian accent. I can understand where the mistakes were made. So you always want to make sure. I'm kidding. But yes, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for being such wonderful guests and Crossfingers hosts as well. Bordersdude, Robert Cobb, and the young Mr. McFeely, who's travelled from the past into the future to be here today. Thank you so much for being wonderful people. And as I quickly try to find sort of
Transformers, the show!
So hopefully we'll see you on Friday. I won't be there, but hopefully you guys will be there to see the main crew, the main stream, the main show, Transformers the show, and have a wonderful weekend and rest and a wonderful Friday. Bye.
It's time for Transformers, the show!